Good evening, Maples family. My name's Alan Sanders. I'm the organist here. Our devotion tonight is going to be talking about one of the hymns of our Great Hymns of Faith series. The hymn we're going to be talking about is "And Are We Yet Alive?" So let's listen to the text from that hymn. And are we yet alive and see each other's face? Glory and thanks to Jesus give for his almighty grace. Preserved by power divine to full salvation here. Again in Jesus' praise we join in his sight appear. What troubles have we seen, what mighty conflicts past. Fightings without and fears within since we assembled last. Yet out of all the Lord hath brought us by his love, and still he doth his help afford, and hides our life above. Then let us make our boast of his redeeming power, which saves us to the uttermost, till we can sin no more. Let us take up the cross till we the crown obtain, and gladly reckon all things lost, so we may Jesus gain. And are we yet alive, and see each other's face? Glory and thanks to Jesus give for his almighty grace. Whose face do you see when you hear this text? For some of you who have served as delegates to annual conference, it may be the face of a longtime friend who has been absent from your sight for an entire year. And although there have been many troubles and conflicts since we assembled last, you're able to embrace each other in the fellowship that you share in Christ and pick up right where you left off. Charles Wesley first wrote this hymn for his 1749 collection, Hymns and Sacred Poems. John Wesley included it in a collection of hymns for the use of people called Methodists in 1780. At the beginning of the section titled "For the Society at Meeting," sometime around its appearance in the 1780 collection, Wesley began using this hymn at the opening of annual society meetings, a practice that has remained largely in use since. Every year around the world, Methodists gathered together in holy conference, stood and sang the nostalgic strains of Wesley's text, recalling the journey of the last 12 months. While John Wesley's decision to appropriate his brother's hymn text for holy conferencing assured its near immortality in the Methodist psyche, his editing significantly altered the theology of Charles's text. Charles originally conceived his text in 4 8-line stanzas instead of 6 4-line stanzas that we have today. Even the casual mathematician will already have noted that one of the original stanzas has been dropped. The original 4 stanzas represent a progression through the Wesleyan way of salvation. The first stanza reminds us that God's prevenient grace has been present with us, preserving and protecting us even in our absence from one another. The second, that God's justifying grace has saved us from sin and imputed to us his righteousness. In the third stanza, we see that God's redeeming grace has saved us and started the work of regeneration in us. The final omitted stanza reminds us that God's sanctifying grace continues to work in us until the day we finally meet Christ, moving us from our imperfect state to entire sanctification. Here's Charles's final stanza. Jesus, to thee we bow, and for thy coming wait. Give us for good some token now, in our imperfect state. Apply the hallowing word. Tell each who looks for thee, thou shalt be perfect as thy Lord. Thou shalt be all like me. It seems a shame to lose this powerful reminder that our final zeal is Christian perfection. All for the sake of a hymn that tells us we've been through toils and snares since we last saw each other. Charles Wesley knew his Bible really well and loved to pack his texts with scriptural allusions. With no fewer than 16 such references, this text is no exception. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's devotional. Tune in next time.